Your Country 1039 KGRT, Blake Shelton and Honeybee.
Time now for your question of the day. Brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Markets of Las Cruces. Fresh produce, bread, meat, honey, food trucks, handmade art, music, and more. Every Saturday and Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. downtown Las Cruces.
That's right, time for our question of the day. And our question of the day today, really simple. Have you ever purchased anything that made you say, I should have bought this years ago. Why did I wait so long? You know, it's kind of those little discovery things. Sometimes it can be something that everybody's talking about, going like, yeah, whatever. They're not all that great. And then you get it and you're like, what? I'll be honest, there's a couple of them in there that I've done that with. Most recently, probably noise canceling headphones. Oh, yeah. I mean, these have been around forever. I mean, for a decade, actually, or more. And I was like, I don't need the noise canceling headphones. It's all fine. Then you start flying on a plane a lot. Those things are amazing. And then you get a roommate who stays up late playing video games. Noise canceling earbuds, man. Those things are great for sleeping at night. So, yeah, I should have had those when they first came out, which is weird considering I'm an electronic person and I just didn't do it. But anyway, so what are some things that made you say, I should have bought this years ago? That is our question of the day. You can go ahead and let me know your answers. Calling 575-523-5478. That's 575-523 KGRT. Of course, you can call those in. You can text those in. You can also just leave your comments on our social media pages because we're live there right now. But, somebody asked this question to Reddit, and some of the responses are pretty interesting, like a dishwasher. Not everybody has a dishwasher. I don't have a dishwasher. I know that. Let's see. An air fryer. I know everybody was talking about air fryers. Or how about this one? A bidet. Yeah, I know a lot of people discovered that one during the pandemic, right? But what is something that made you say, I should have bought this a long time ago? Yeah. Go ahead and let me know your answers. Once again, you can call those in or text those in at 575-523-KGRT. That's 575-523-5478. And, Gravity Feed HVLP for a paint gun. It's my friend that works on cars. Yeah, I heard those are really helpful if you're going to be doing some painting. So there you go. Actually, I think my brother, who does tattoos, also had an ink feeding gun that he stayed away from for a while, and then he got it. It's like, this is the most amazing thing ever. So it's all pretty cool. We all have those things around us, right? How about a car with heated seats? We maybe don't need it so much here in Cruces, but my mom loves those things. So, go ahead and let me know. What is something that made you say, I should have bought this a long, long time ago? Go ahead and let me know your answers for our question of the day. Brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces. All right, let's see. All of the buttons are pushed, and somebody else just sent me a text that said a hybrid vehicle. I still haven't jumped on that train just because money. That's the way it is. Plus, I like old cars. I don't like new cars. All the new cars look the same to me, in my personal opinion. But I do like my old cars, and eventually the hybrids are going to get there as well. But, once that battery goes, it's a question I have. It's a question. Although, as far as EVs go, I have thought of converting one of my cars into an EV because, that thing's about 30 years old right now. Would be pretty interesting if I could do that with the X90. I think that would be fun. But, I can see hybrid vehicles or possibly even EVs themselves. I should have got these years ago. That is definitely something that could make you say that. But once again, we're looking for more answers for our question of the day. What is something that made you say, I should have bought this years ago, or at least a long time ago when people were talking about it? You just kind of newly discovered things like that. Let me know your answers. Once again, call them in, text them in, 575-523-KGRT, or just leave your comments down below. In the meantime, let's go ahead and see what is going on in and around the world these days. Starbucks S'mores Frappuccino is returning for this summer. The drink blends marshmallows, chocolate, and coffee and it will be available starting on June 30th. Why couldn't they do it like, this weekend? It would have been nice. Let's see. Jennifer Lopez's new rom-com Office Romance is number one movie in Netflix. In fact, it garnered 21 million views. Wow, that's a lot. I wonder how much that would be in ticket sales. Math, not going to do it. Let's see. A new survey by Relocate Global says that 20% of recent graduates will apply for more than 100 jobs. It's always been hard to find a job once you've graduated college, or just, if you're coming out of high school, or just jobs when you're younger are kind of hard to find, but it's really, really hard these days. And that's because everything is done online, right? I don't know. Maybe that's a question for another day, but I much prefer it when I used to fill out a paper application and take it into someone, or when you're going in for a job and you've got your resume with you, you turn it into somebody, you turn that resume in, and then you talk about the things that are there. Like, that initial meeting is basically your first interview. And to me, I don't know, seemed like a better way. But everything is done online these days. And quite honestly, I feel the frustration for you, right? Let's see. Anything else that's going on? Apparently an Air Canada pilot was busted for flying without a license. Yeah, he was recently arrested for flying without a license. He's flown hundreds of flights with thousands of passengers before he was arrested and got busted basically during a pilot audit. Why don't you just go for your license, bro? I mean, unless you're kind of hoping you just never get caught. You always get caught, right? Once again, we are looking for answers for our question of the day today. What did you buy recently, maybe, that made you say, I should have bought this years ago? Already had somebody say a hybrid vehicle, that electric gas combination, or a paint gun, or specifically, I think it was the HVLP paint gun. For those of you that deal with paint, probably know what that guy's talking about, and you're going like, yeah, I should have jumped on that one a while ago. For me, it was probably noise canceling headphones and earbuds. I stayed away from them for a long time, going like, okay, that's kind of cool, but once I got them on my ear, only got one good one. It's pretty awesome. I am still trying to find an engineer or somebody that could help me make headphones for the monaural people that are out there. Those that have only one good ear. There's a lot of us, a lot more than you think, and stereo, frustrating. Anyway, let's see. Anything else? The air fryer was another one. I stayed away from that for a while. Then my mom bought me one. I was like, what? Or how about this? You might relate to this one. The robot vacuum. I don't know. That seems like a pretty good one, too. But what did you say that made you, or what did you buy that made you say, I should have bought this a long, long time ago? Go ahead and let me know your answers for our question of the day, brought to you by the Farmers and Crafts Market of Las Cruces.